Hello and welcome to CarWale, and the car that you don't see behind me in all that chaos is the new Honda Elevate. Now do not worry, we've got clean shots of the car and we will show them to you inside and out, and we will tell you more details about its specifications and the time that we've spent inside the car. All that will come later in the course of this video. Now the Honda Elevate is an SUV. Honda's first homegrown SUV, so to speak, and it will go up against the Hyundai Creta, it will go up against the Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara. So the challenge or the competition is going to be huge. But Honda believes that it's got a few aces up its sleeve with the Elevate, and that's what we're going to get into. The Elevate has your typical squared out SUV outline, which is quite palatable. In fact, one might even call it a little conventional. Having said that, it has some strong design elements. The connected taillight design, the twin bonnet edges or ridges, and the flat face but technical looking front give the Elevate a very distinctive look. In profile, the metal area of the doors, the front fender and the C-pillar dominate. They help give the Elevate a very chunky presence, which SUV prospects actually prefer. The only downside really in profile, given the chunky metal panels, is that the already large 17-inch alloy wheel actually feels a size smaller than it needs to be. Honda has experimented with 18-inch wheels, but 17 is what offers the best balance in terms of ride comfort, handling and aesthetics, is what their chief engineer told us. The Honda Elevate is based on the same platform as the Honda City. So you've got the same track length, you've got the same powertrain options, you've got all the hard points are same. The top hat, of course, is completely different. And there have been tweaks that have been made to the suspension to suit its SUV outlook more than the City. Now Honda says that they've worked on the suspension. It definitely has more travel. The car has higher ground clearance at 220, which is in fact the highest in its segment. It has a longer wheelbase. It sits at over 2,600, which again is longest in its class. And Honda said it's also reworked the steering, not maybe so much mechanically, but more in terms of how the EPS is set to give you a better response, which we will find out when we drive the car. Honda also says that the rigidity of this top hat is a little higher to enable handling, and the focus of building the Elevate has been to tick two boxes, fun and comfort, and they want there is no bias as to whether it will be more fun or more comfortable, but that's the focus of the car. Now the engine options on the Elevate, there's only going to be one. There will be no hybrid. You will only get the 1.5 litre 4-cylinder naturally aspirated, the same engine that you get in the City, with the same gearbox options, a 6-speed manual and a CVT. Now that engine and gearbox options, be it the CVT or the manual, have been good. We've had good experiences with them. We've driven them extensively, be it in terms of performance, refinement, involvement. They don't set any new benchmarks, not compared to turbocharged engines in that class, but these are more than adequate, and we believe they should work on the Elevate, and we'll have more information on that when we drive it sometime in July. In terms of suspension, you've got regular McPherson struts up front, you've got a torsion beam axle at the back, and of course, in terms of damping and travel, there is a difference compared to the Honda City. As for not having the hybrid, the idea is that Honda is going to have a fully electric version of the Elevate. They might call it something else, but a fully electric version which will go on sale 3 years from now. And so I guess Honda decided that it would be a smarter move to just jump from petrol to BEV or battery electric vehicle instead of doing a hybrid. Also, I don't think they figured out that the hybrid is going to come into such high demand, and so they probably don't have enough kits to serve both City and the Elevate. So Elevate for now will be petrol only. Firstly, being an SUV, it is quite easy to get in and out of the Elevate, and once inside, the choice of materials, the quality of plastic and the choice of colors, black along with tobacco, give it a reasonably premium finish. It doesn't set any new benchmarks in terms of quality in the segment, but it does feel reasonably upmarket nonetheless. It is quite roomy, however, especially in terms of knee and headroom at the back, and the seats are large and comfy too. And then there are aspects you'd expect from the Honda, because we've seen company deliver these kind of seats and space and comfort in the city as well. The boot at 458 litres is quite big too. Now, as far as features go, the Elevate gets full LED head and tail lamps, a single panel sunroof, it gets the full suite of ADAS tech, it has the whole set of connectivity features that we've seen in the Honda City, and thankfully it now gets an updated and high definition multimedia system. It's a 10.25 inch touchscreen system, and this is something that most Honda owners and as journalists we have been cribbing about, that they need to upgrade the system, and they have, so that's a good sign. It also gets a 7-inch digital display as instrumentation or driver information system. There's of course the usual that you get in this segment: automatic climate control, you've got rear parking camera, you've got hill start assist, and in terms of safety you've also got ESP and lane watch. Again, lane watch is something that we've seen in the city as well. Now let's assume that you are a Honda fan, and clearly you had no other option but to settle for a sedan. So let's say you're in the market for the city, but now you've got the Elevate, and the Elevate will be launched in a couple of months' time. So should you hold on to your city booking, or should you still go and buy the city, or should you wait for the Elevate? So we're just going to give you some points of comparison between the two cars, which should help you decide whether you want to stick with the city or maybe wait for the Elevate. Now, they are the same platform. They've got essentially the same mechanicals, electricals, and features mostly. But if you look at the whole concept of sedan and how it sits and how close it is to the ground compared to the Elevate, you will find on the road, at least that's what we believe, that the city would be still a nicer car to drive around, let's say Benz, or if you want more driver involvement, then the city would still be the better car to go for, though Honda says they've reworked the steering response or EPS on the Elevate, and we will see how that does. But given the body styles and the weight differences and the difference in wheelbase, and so the city still should be the better car to drive. But the Elevate, of course, is if you want a car that is easier to get in and get out of, if you want that SUV stance, if you want more practicality in terms of folding seats, then the Elevate is the one to choose. In terms of engine performance, on-road performance, there will be a difference, but the difference won't be that significant. It's the same for fuel efficiency, it's the same engine, and we believe that the city will naturally be a little more efficient, but the difference again should not be too much. And it's possible that the touchscreen system that we see in the Elevate, we might see in the city as well. But of course, if you want the hybrid, then you have no other option but to go for the city, because the Elevate is not going to get a hybrid drivetrain. Now, in Honda's scheme of things, the Elevate will sit above the Honda City, which means the Honda City, which starts at about 11.6x showroom for the SX, that would mean the Elevate, given that it would come with the same trim options, should begin close to 12 or maybe slightly under. And then the top spec Honda City CVT with the normal petrol goes up to close to 16. So we expect that the Elevate would again be a little more expensive. So you're looking at about between 12 to 17 ex-showroom is what the Elevate will cost. It is good pricing if it comes at that. It's not outstanding pricing, given that you've got well entrenched competition in the Hyundai Creta and Maruti Suzuki Grand Vitara already in the market. But there is a pent-up demand for a SUV from Honda. So I think Honda should be able to ride that wave. And from what we've seen right now, and these are pre-production cars, that in terms of design, in terms of space, in terms of how they've executed the product, it's come out pretty well. We will drive this car in 2 months' time, and we will have a more definitive review on that, whether you should buy it or not. But for now, things look promising. So if you want to hold on for the next 2 months to see how it drives on the road? Maybe you should.